Mr. Chairman, members of the Board of Chosen Freeholders, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Today, February 12th, is Lincoln's birthday. So forgive me if I lean a little bit on the wit and wisdom of Honest Abe to help deliver a point or two during this address. To that end, let me begin with a short quote from Lincoln, who once said, "I'm a slow walker, but I never walk back." Now, in our 13th year of service, this administration has been described as a steady hand on the wheel for our mayors, our legislators, and for the people of Hudson County. Maybe we are a slow walker in order to build consensus and allow all voices to be heard. But any review of this past year's accomplishments would show that we don't walk back from our commitments. We are committed to sound government, and that's why we received another bond rating increase in 2014. Today, our county's credit strength, as measured by the three major rating agencies, is the best it has ever been under the county executive form of government. It is why we opened up the county center at Bergen Square this year, which completes our plan to place all county employees in county-owned buildings, rather than expensive and often inadequate rental space. And it is why we will save the taxpayers about $5 million annually through an agreement with Union County to regionalize juvenile detention services. And those services, I'm very proud to say, occurred without laying off one worker. We are committed to the expanding and enhancing of our beautiful parks. As a result, Hoboken residents welcomed a wonderful new park under the 14th Street Viaduct in December. And Lincoln Park in Jersey City was made safer for pedestrians and bikers alike this fall with new traffic patterns and safety improvements. We finalized plans for a new passive park honoring veterans and two new athletic fields within Braddock Park in North Bergen. This $6 million project is the largest investment the county has made in Braddock Park in decades. And the construction of our new public golf course in Lincoln Park was completed in 2014. It'll be available for duffers like me and a couple of the other guys up there to enjoy come this May. The cost to play around will be about the price of a theater ticket, a movie theater ticket. Our hope is that it will open the sport up, especially to the young people of Hudson County who may have never considered it before. I'm a former teacher, so it should come as no surprise that we remain committed to education and to those struggling on the margins. You can see this commitment in our steadfast support for the Hudson County Community College. The college opened a beautiful new library media center in 2014, and it's the third major campus building completed in less than a decade. Our Division of Housing and Community Development and the Department of Health and Human Services provided funding to create a homeless street outreach team. They are on the streets 365 days a year, engaging the unsheltered homeless population. A county-operated warming center has also been created in South Kearney for those who have nowhere else to go during the cold winter months. At our jail, already a national model, we sought to expand our program to reduce recidivism amongst our female inmates. Today, our jail population is the lowest it has been since the opening of the modern correctional center in Kearney 2 decades ago. We are committed to improving our transportation infrastructure. Our TMA worked with the business community to help coordinate a massive public education campaign for the Pulaski Skyway reconstruction. the campaign helped to avert an anticipated traffic disaster. We invested $2 million in road improvements in Hoboken. It's worth noting that the Mile Square City contains more than 1/3 of all county bridge area within its borders. And we cut the ribbon on a new 14th Street viaduct in Hoboken in July. At a total cost of over $54 million, the project is the largest single investment in county transportation infrastructure ever. Finally, we are committed to social justice and the cause of working people. In October, the first We Are One New Jersey Center opened right here in Hudson County, supported by a $125,000 grant and office space provided by this freeholder board. Developed by immigration reform and labor organizations, the center's mission is to assist immigrants to move towards citizenship with all the rights and responsibility that entails. Last month, with several other members of the freeholder board, I observed the first outreach session conducted by We Are One New Jersey, held right in the lobby at our Bergen Square Center. Long lines of people waited patiently to learn how to take the next steps towards becoming Americans. A century ago, Irish, Italian, Polish, and other European immigrants waited in lines like these. While the last names, the languages, the accents of those in line have changed, the dream remains the same. It is a dream of a better life, one I know that all of us are proud to support. Those dreams are best supported by public policy that rewards work. Last February, right here in this chamber, I signed the ordinance passed by this freeholder board that added a COLA to our living wage law. And in December, with the support of the board, we committed $200,000 over the next 4 years to be a partner in a new public transportation workforce training program. The program will help clients of our Hudson County one-stop training centers and the Jersey City Employment and Training Program develop the skills they need to work in the transportation construction trades. Our partners in this endeavor include the New Jersey Amalgamated Transit Union, the Hudson County Building and Construction Trades Council, and the City of Jersey City. Let's hope that together we can help more young people in Hudson County gain the skills they need to make a good living by rebuilding Hudson County. So we have, with our steady hand on the wheel, made real progress over the last year. But just because you keep a steady hand on the wheel doesn't mean you can't press down on the accelerator when change is needed. When I look at this board of freeholders, with its 4 new members, ready and motivated to make a difference, and 5 freeholders with a world of outstanding experience, I know this is true. I welcome the opportunity to work with you. There is much to accomplish in the days ahead. Let's set an agenda that we can all be proud of, and then let's make it happen. As Lincoln said when it came to setting goals, if we determine that the thing can and shall be done, then we shall find a way to do it. Just this year ahead, we are poised to develop a partnership with Union City in order to construct a new shared DPW garage to serve the city and our division of roads. We're ready to assume control of the western end of Duncan Avenue, making it a county road. This will allow us to clean it up and make it an attractive entrance to the new golf course in Lincoln Park West. We're ready to engage state and federal officials in the support of a West Side Avenue light rail spur to develop the west side of Jersey City and reduce traffic. I will do all I can as the chairman of the NJTPA to help move this forward. We're ready to put in place a host of park improvements, including a dog run, a fishing pier, and a boat dock in Laurel Hill, and adding 5 new fields to Stephen Gregg Park in Bayonne. We're ready to increase the signal power of our 1710 AM traffic information station to make it more effective in times of emergency. Let's make this all happen this year together. As for longer-term goals, I propose we seek to accomplish the following. Let's finally build a new campus for the schools of technology on county property adjacent to Laurel Hill. The schools of technology have been an award-winning institution for decades. It's time we finally provided them with a new campus worthy of their reputation. Our bonding authority is in place, and it's time to turn some shovels. I mentioned Hudson County Community College's new library earlier, and we can't rest on our laurels when it comes to expanding the college services. That is why we support the construction of the college's planned science building to keep up with student demands for new technology-related programming. The college selected an architect in September and is working to make the project financially feasible. It is a wise next step. President Obama called to make County College free of charge, signals a major change coming on the horizon. More and more community colleges will be like high school, a necessity rather than an option. That is why we must make sure that our community college is ready for that new and expanded role it will play. A year ago, I demanded that New Jersey Transit should buy it or beat it regarding acquiring property from our Coppers Coke site in Kearney as part of New Jersey Transit Grid. The microgrid was designed to help fortify the system that powers Transit's rail lines. It got a green light in Washington in 2014, and that finally brought Transit to the bargaining table for Coppers. After some wrangling between Transit and our designated developer, the Morris Company, the two sides finally began developing the framework for a deal. It should leave the Morris Company with about 85% of Coppers to develop and NJ Transit with about 15%. Once the two sides have settled their issues on infrastructure and other completely, we should expect that the long-delayed promise of new construction, new jobs, and new economic vitality will at last become a reality at Coppers Cove. I live a mile and a half from Brennan Courthouse in the Heights section of Jersey City. And sometimes it takes me 40 minutes to drive to work. If that sounds, that's not an exaggeration. If that sounds crazy, the reason is a combination of historically twisted traffic patterns in the area and disruptions caused by the reconstruction of Route 139. We can't speed the construction work on 139, but we can at least attack the underlying problem, and that is why we have proposed a Central Avenue extension project. The Central Avenue extension project will bridge an approximately 500 linear foot gap missing from Central Avenue between Hoboken and Newark Avenues near Journal Square. Currently, travelers heading south on Central Avenue must drive down to Cook Street, a one-lane, one-way road emptying onto Newark Avenue with no traffic signal at the intersection. Travelers driving north on Central Avenue near Journal Square must take Oakland Avenue, another one-way road. Both of these roads have limited capacity and cannot handle the traffic load spilling from Central Avenue. Now, with construction detours in the area, there is only one way to describe the situation: a traffic nightmare. We need to bridge the gap in Central Avenue. Making it a main artery running north and south will allow drivers easier access to both Journal Square and Route 139, significantly reducing traffic congestion. With the support of the board, we have moved ahead with a plan to acquire, survey, and demolish properties in the gap area. It is projected that the plan will generate at least 100 construction jobs and will boost development in the area. And there is an additional benefit. This project would allow for the vacation of Cook Street, which is only 2 blocks long. That would provide a sufficient footprint for the construction of a new Hudson County criminal court in the future. The opening of Central Avenue and our continued acquisition of property are the next steps on a deliberate path towards a much-needed new courthouse that is both road accessible and affordable to the taxpayers of Hudson County. As county executive, I am regularly invited to all kinds of events with state, local, and sometimes even national leaders. But the invitations I am most honored to accept are for ceremonies honoring and involving our veterans. Be it the Hudson County Service Medal Program ceremonies, our Memorial Day and Veteran Day ceremonies, or the Pearl Harbor wreath laying, all leave you with a feeling of enormous gratitude to the service rendered by our veterans. For our vets who simply need information about employment opportunities or programs available to them, or to get questions answered about their benefits, we offer an excellent services fair developed in partnership with local veterans organizations. But what about our vets who have struggled since leaving the service and eventually end up homeless, who may be battling substance abuse or dealing with a mental illness? According to the best estimates we have from the Division of Housing and Community Development, the number of homeless veterans in Hudson County averages around 50 at one time, depending upon the season and the economy. About 100 homeless vets will come into contact with our staff in the course of a year. They are usually among our chronic homeless, meaning they tend to be older, male, and have been living on the streets for months, sometimes years. We have already pledged to eradicate chronic homelessness in Hudson County. It is a challenge that will likely take a decade to meet. But when we consider the estimated number of homeless veterans in Hudson County is a little more than 5% of the total number of chronic homelessness, it seems clear we should be able to pledge something more and more immediate and more definitive to help our vets in need. We should pledge that any homeless veteran in Hudson County in need of housing will be able to find it. So how do we make good on this pledge? We are making progress on this issue, and part of that progress has included helping more homeless vets find housing. Through the use of $5.5 million in home funds, we created 24 new permanent affordable housing units for homeless vets, and in 2 developments, one in Bayonne and one in Union City, with local partners over the last 3 years. In the Union City development, project-based vouchers are provided by Continuum of Care funding. While this funding does not now flow through the county, the division is the collaborative applicant to HUD and coordinates the process. This is real progress, progress that makes a difference one life at a time. One of our veterans, now off the streets thanks to these efforts, is Keith Owens, who served our nation in both Afghanistan and Iraq. Unlike the majority of the homeless vets, Keith has a wife and 3 beautiful children who also endured homelessness for over a year with him. He says that moving into the Homes for Heroes building in Union City gave his family the most stability they have enjoyed since his discharge. Let's honor him tonight for his service and for the steps that he is taking towards a better life for him and his family. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to former Marine Sergeant Keith Owens.
Well,
I told Keith he was going to be a star tonight. I offered to let him make the speech for me, but he said, nah. We're proud to have him here. To better focus on the issue, we have created a Homeless Veterans Committee within the Hudson County Alliance to End Homelessness. The mission of the committee is to better coordinate the existing services we offer and to assist in the development of new permanent housing solutions for veterans. Members of the committee include representatives from the City of Jersey City and Hoboken, a staffer from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, and various service providers in Hudson County. It is co-chaired by the Office of Veterans Affairs and Division of Housing and Community Development. The committee's first order of business is to develop a comprehensive resource guide for existing housing and services for veterans. It will also collaborate with existing shelter providers to maintain a master list of homeless vets. This should allow us to more easily find and counsel them one-on-one so they can link with the necessary services and housing. It's pretty simple. They looked out for us around the world, and now it's turn for us to look out for them at home. Of course, in order to bring all our vets home, we will need strong support from our municipalities. Jersey City, Bayonne, Harrison, and Hoboken have signed on to the Mayor's Challenge to end veterans' homelessness. I'm confident that the remaining 8 municipalities will sign on to the Mayor's Challenge. We encourage them all to do so. This will help us bring more resources and more attention to the issue in every community in Hudson County. We could also encourage the local public housing authorities to set aside housing choice vouchers targeted for homeless veterans. By making these vouchers project-based, the subsidy can be partnered with county, state, and federal resources to develop more permanent, supportive housing opportunity for our veterans. The City of Hoboken is now considering this approach for a project at their old VFW post. We will look to use our home funds to assist with the development costs. Finally, we can consider providing more county funds to pay for necessary supportive services for our vets in developments created with project-based vouchers from our local public housing authorities. These county funds could come from a number of sources, including the Homeless Trust Fund, which this board created a few years ago. Regardless of where we find the funding, we must bring all our vets home. This April 6th will mark the 175th anniversary of the founding of Hudson County. When the 200th anniversary, the bicentennial, is celebrated, what will be remembered about us? Hopefully, it will be that we gave our people the educational and training opportunities they needed to compete in an even more global economy. And that while we made sure Hudson County was ready to move ahead, we made sure no one, especially our heroes, were left behind. In the past, I've offered statistics to show the state of our county growing stronger. Today, you need only to look out the window to see that our economy is growing and understand the state of Hudson County is strong. With pride in what we have accomplished and faith in what we can still achieve, let's work together to make her even stronger. Thank you very much.